to another edition of the Blackhawks Hockey Central podcast. I am home again, and I am also Joe Vitali, and that is Skoks. Today, going to be talking about some signings. Former Blackhawks superstar signed today, as well as we're going to preview the Rockford Ice Hogs and Chicago Blackhawks. Maybe get some point projections out there for the Chicago Blackhawks, because last season obviously was, for Connor Bedard, and a lot, some guys weren't playing up to their potential, and, hopefully they'll get it in gear. The rising tide floats all boats, as they say, and that rising tide is Connor Bedard. So I mentioned a Blackhawk superstar. I was being a little facetious. Alex Stalock. Yeah, Alex Stalock finally signs, this time with the Anaheim Ducks, which I think is going to signify the end of an era in John Gibson for said Anaheim Ducks, with Lucas Dostal and then in Alex Stalock Wombo combo, as I like to say. Stole that from an early YouTube video. And so where is, let's just go over Alex Stalock. I mean, obviously, you guys know exactly what he did for us. He ran into a little injury trouble, especially with that weird eye thing he had going on when they thought it was a concussion. It was not the case, but he got it all sorted out. So he played 27 games, 3.01 GAA and a 908 save percentage. Save percentage is really good. You want your goalies to be in like the 9-10 range. 9-10 is going to make sure that you as a team are successful. 301 GAA, not that good, because I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe the Hawks were in like the 2.73 range of scoring goals last season. So if you're giving up 3 and you're only scoring 2.7, you're going to lose. Which last season they wanted to lose, and they did. And they got Connor Bedard, and it's all good now. So, where is John Gibson going to go? 4 years, $6.4 million. I think the Anaheim Ducks are probably going to have to retain about 2.4 mil, we'll call it. I don't know, John Gibson at $4 million. It's better. It's not the best, but he's a good goalie. I would think maybe maybe somewhere like Buffalo Sabres. I know they have a plethora of goaltenders right now. They've got Devin Levi, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, and Eric Comrie. So Eric Comrie, veteran backup, good player, but they're probably going to want to go with Jedi Knight or Jedi Padawan learner Devin Levi. And then, Ukko-Pekka, you can probably get, he has a pretty high ceiling, still pretty young. You could probably get a nice second, third round pick maybe out of him. I just say the Buffalo Sabres because they're pretty much a Team USA team. They've got a lot of Team USA players on that team. John Gibson, obviously a Team USA product. And, maybe you get him there. Maybe the Flyers. I don't know. They kind of want to get rid of. They want to get rid of who's the
Carter Hart.
Carter Hart. Yeah.
Right.
I think they want to get rid of him and get some assets for him. And then they have Cal Peterson.
Right.
And maybe they take on John Gibson and he's still bad. Maybe he's just bad in general.
Yeah.
Can't revive that career. And that works out for them because they want a top 3, top 5 pick. They're in the rebuild mode. They want to get that franchise back on track.
John Gibson, dude, when he was at his best, right, he made the All-Star game, so he was an All-Star that year. But It was a few years ago. Was it 2 or 3 years ago? When he's at his best, he's behind solid D men, right? And if I look at this list that has the potential to fit him in there in net, I think the Devils can also be a sleeper team, right?
Oh, nice. They could
Yeah,
use him too.
right. There's been a lot of talk with Connor Hellebuck, but he's obviously a step ahead of John Gibson, and who knows how difficult that'll be to fit him in uh, with their contracts. But John Gibson, if you could work out a friendly deal, right? Just something that works for both teams. Obviously, the Ducks want probably more picks. They don't really need many roster players right now, but hey, John Gibson behind that decor with the Devils, Dougie Hamilton, just a ton of guys that are just quality, just real quality D man. John Marino's still there.
Yeah, he's a
Kevin
good.
Ball, he balled out, right?
Yeah,
Luke Hughes bumping up to the big league this year. Just solid guys, man. And I think if John Gibson's behind a core like that, they could definitely go far.
yeah, for sure. I would also mention that with like a Connor Hellebuck, I believe he wants
Hmm.
an extension as
Right,
well. So,
right.
and he wants that extension. He wants like Andre Vasilevsky money, which like
Yeah.
I understand because he's a really good goaltender,
Hmm.
but like he's on the back nine right now and of his career. And
Hmm.
is he still good? Yes.
Oh yeah.
Would he be an upgrade for them? Yes. Uh,
Hmm.
but with those assets that they're going to have to give up for him, I don't really think it's that worth it. And John Gibson is going to be a lot cheaper of an option for them.
Right.
So, and then Jack Hughes, Team USA guy, his brother Luke Hughes, Team
Hmm.
USA guy. Uh, I'm sure there's a couple other Team USAers
Hmm.
in that lineup that I'm forgetting right now. Um, but you know, it's just I think they would benefit. Vitek Vanacek, good
Yeah.
goalie.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm not going to say I don't think he's like a 1A. You
No.
know, I think he's like a 1B and like would be
Right.
good with a complementary. He'd be very complimentary to an elite goaltender,
Hmm.
which he is not. And then Akira Schmid, uh, breakout season, younger kid.
Hmm.
Maybe still season him in the A a bit, make sure
Right.
he can master that league. And then, if VTech goes down or John Gibson goes down, I think John Gibson's has had a little bit of injury trouble.
Hmm.
Bring him up, fill the gap, move
Yeah.
on. So, yeah, I see that. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure who else. Maybe like the Wings,
That's what I was thinking before, but then I
but
realized that
they have Ville Husso
right,
and
right, right,
who's their back? Oh, James Reimer. Yeah, he's
right.
fine.
Hmm. Yeah, getting a little older there, right? Reimer, but they picked up a lot of goaltending, like in recent years, just the last 2 to 3 years. They're just cycling through goalies. I can't even name all of them, but they've had a slew of tendies there the last few years. So who knows, right? With Detroit, it's definitely weird in
No doubt.
Detroit,
No
right?
doubt. Um, I would say also maybe like someone like I mean, they've already hitched their car or hitched their wagon to this player,
Hmm.
Philip Grubauer, the Seattle Kraken.
Right, right.
But like, maybe like over there, you know, that wouldn't be the end of the world for John Gibson, but like then it's interconference,
Hmm.
interdivision, like those trades don't really happen that often.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Columbus Blue Jackets. They've got Elvis,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that's it.
Yeah. I feel like Elvis was he a little hurt last
Oh
year,
yeah, he's a
or
Band-Aid, unfortunately.
was he? Okay, okay. Yeah, because didn't see him much last year, and look at that. He's 29 years old already. Time flies for Elvis here. But Danil Tarasov, highly touted, right? Coming out of the draft, I believe he's like 6'7", if
Oh,
I'm
it's a big boy.
correct. Yeah, he's or no, I'm wrong. He is 6'3". I'm thinking of the guy in Nashville. I forgot his name, but I believe he's also Russian. I believe, yeah.
Oh,
But
Yaroslav Askarov?
Askarov, right, right. There, one of them is like 6'6". I'm pretty sure. It's crazy, but
Yeah.
yeah,
The new
Columbus,
meta for goalies right now to just be absolute mammoths. Yeah,
right?
I mean, dude, it's Elvis and it's Danil, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, Danil played 17 games for the Blue Jackets,
Mm-hmm.
uh, 30 for Merzlikins, but I mean, Merzlikins had an 876
Wow.
save percentage, and then 882 or 892 for Tarasov. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're not even getting 900 goaltending guys. Like, wow.
Yeah, because what's
So
average 90
what's
or
that?
average percentage
Oh,
was
oh, the
90?
league?
Yeah.
I would say like a 905.
Right. Right.
I'll
Right.
definitely check right now.
Yeah.
Maybe
That,
pull
that's what
up
I
the
was thinking
hockey
too.
reference.
Right. Yeah, man. Just it's been sloppy, right? Obviously injury riddled uh, last year.
Yeah.
Land Adam Fantilli. They're definitely going to improve here. Their deep core is kind of crazy. Gabranson, Provorov, Severson, Andrew Peak, Adam Boquist, Hawks legend. Not really though.
Oh,
It's
wow. Dude,
yeah.
it is the goaltending league average,
Hmm.
899.
Really eight.
So
Wow.
the that is surprising to me.
Yeah, that is surprising. So they're about average, but hey, if you want to improve um, in the future here, especially with a team that has a lot of talent on it, right? And you guys could definitely win some games. Their depth is not great, but hey, you put a decent goalie in there, I think they can make some noise also. The
Yeah.
Jackets.
I mean, dude, they've got like a decent forward group. Their defense, they went all in on their defense
Right,
with
all in.
Severson, Provorov.
Hmm.
I mean, and then Werenski's gonna come back.
Totally
Uh,
forgot. Right,
Jake Bean.
Jake Bean.
He's he moves the puck well.
Right.
I'm not gonna say he's like a superstar,
Hmm.
but I think he's a nice bottom
Yeah,
pair guy.
yeah, decent depth, definitely. Uh,
So yeah, I mean, so
mhm,
Blue Jackets,
mhm.
uh, and I think they've got 4.7 million in cap space.
Right, right.
They've got 13 forwards,
Hmm.
6D. Zach Werenski will be coming back, and Jake Bean, so that'll be 8 D men.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, I don't know who this Tim Burney character is, but he
No.
gone. And
Yeah.
then Nick Blankenberg, um, looks like he's waivers exempt as well, so he'll probably go down too.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I think Gibson to the Blue Jackets would be really, really good for that franchise,
Hmm.
and they could do a nice Gibson Merzlikins tandem. The only thing
Right.
is, I think they're paying Merzlikins, yeah, 5.4. So
Wow.
if you take 2.4 off of that 6.4, you're going to be paying $9.4 million for your goaltenders, which is a little high nowadays, at least. But if that's what it takes to be successful, that's what it takes.
Right. With players coming back, Werenski, totally forgot about him. 26 years old only. That's kind of insane.
Well, that's surprising.
That is insane. Great player. Such a great player. But got to stay healthy, and that pretty much just wraps up our goalie talk. Connor Hellebuyck, obviously waiting for some movement with Winnipeg also, but who knows with their team, they could look to push forward still.
Yeah, I don't even know if Hellebuyck is even on the market anymore because they got, they traded Pierre-Luc Dubois. They got 3 players who are NHLers and gave Velarde his hands. So sick, so skilled. And then Alex Iafallo, great middle six guy.
Yeah, scorer, love him.
Yep. Rasmus Kupari, good bottom six guy, defensive, and he's young too, so maybe he has a little bit of offense still left in him. But so we've been going over with the Hawks some potential lines and whatnot, and so I think we've hypothesized that the second line is going to be Lucas Reichel, Andreas Athanasiou, and Ryan Donato. So, and then we were talking last episode about I think it might have been the episode before about fantasy and maybe some players to look out for. Well, Lucas Reichel, he's going to be playing the entire season up in the Chicago Blackhawks. He might pot like 55 points, 65 points.
Hope so.
Which would be a really, really nice addition to your fantasy lineup. But it also just in general will add to the success of the team. And, Andreas Athanasiou last season, I want to say he had like 34. I was going to say 36. He had 34 points. Now on a line with Lucas Reichel and Ryan Donato, you're going to expect that to go up. Maybe even, tickle the 50 mark. Maybe.
Reichel,
not out of the question.
Right. When Lucas Reichel, he obviously had different stints that he was called up, right? But when he was consistently in the lineup, right, he was a player that contributes a lot, right? 23 games, 15 points, 7 goals, 8 assists. And we saw the chemistry with AA, at times with Kurashev, right? Max Domi, obviously. Hot line. That line was on fire, man. 82 games for Lucas Reichel on a consistent line. I'm looking at 45, 50 plus points. Just seeing his small sample size here, 15 in 23 games, 7 goals, 8 assists, a balanced stat line. I mean, that's contributing all over the ice, and we saw him improve in the D zone, right towards the end of his stint. He was a -8, but we're not looking at that last year at all.
No.
But I'm super high on Lucas this year, definitely.
And for sure. And then like I'm just pulling up Ryan Donato's hockey reference right here just to see what's going on, what he did last year with Seattle. So he played 71 games. His average time on ice was 11 minutes though.
Yeah.
So he's going to be up on that second line right wing. I mean, you're going to give him at least an extra 5 minutes of ice time. And he was shooting, let's see here, what was his shot percentage last year? 11.5, elevated a bit, but nothing crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a sneaky player. Like when I've seen some cracking games, right? Cracktown. Ryan Donato's making plays. He has a sneaky shot, gets to the net. He's a speedy player, and if he's bumped up to the second line there, or if he just plays like a middle six role, we could see his numbers jump up also, like similar to like a Taylor Radish, right? Just potting home more goals here. That'd be
No
great.
doubt.
Yeah.
And last year's season, league average 10.1%. So he was league average
Wow.
shooting percentage.
Hmm.
And, I think with that increased ice time, he's going to get a lot more opportunities, a lot more points. And I
Yeah.
think, I think doubling his point total. I mean, he only had 27 last season.
Hmm.
Nothing crazy, nothing terrible. 14 goals, 13 assists, so more goals than assists, which we like to see.
Hmm.
Uh, I could see, I could see 45 easy
Yeah.
out of him.
Right. A skilled player playing with other skilled players. Only good things can happen. Obviously, we've seen it before. Kane Panarin, Kane Cat. Uh,
Oof.
people are putting up numbers when you play with other skilled guys. Yeah, we are definitely looking at 35, 40 points. If everything goes well, stays healthy, right? Ryan Donato could have a nice season. Definitely.
Yeah, and then, maybe second line, it's a little high for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bump him down 3, okay?
Hmm.
And then we'll take Taylor Radish because he's obviously the more skilled player.
Right.
78 games, 37 points last season. Throw
Hmm.
him on the second line, right wing,
Hmm.
with Lucas Reichel and Andreas Athanasiou.
Hmm.
And, he's probably gonna eclipse that 50-point mark too.
Right. Uh, yeah, you mentioned only 17 assists, right? Hey, if he's bumped up line one, um, like we've kind of gone on before, um, I believe last week. Hey, he's dishing to Connor Taylor Hall. Uh, you're going to see a jump. You're definitely going to see a jump, whether it's primary, secondary, assists, doesn't matter. But he will be moving the puck here. Uh, Highly skilled guys, and sure, he's not the flashiest player, right? But he plays the game right. Scores from the circles, scores in front of the net. Pretty decent in the D zone. Uh, Not very speedy, but hey, he plays the game right. And we're looking at 37 points here last year on a team with not a lot at all. We could be looking at 45, 50 points from Taylor Radish, still young, too.
He's easy. I think
Hmm.
trying to grab his shot percentage here really
Hmm.
quick,
Yeah.
just to see if it was hyperinflated or anything.
Hmm.
It's not really appearing that way.
No.
I think he's uh, let's see here. Hmm.
Hmm.
129 shots last season, which is nice.
Right.
I could just do some quick maths here. I'll tell you in 1 sec.
Yeah. Yeah. But you see Taylor as just like a smart player, right? He's not going crazy, shooting from the blue line, shooting from the point. He's taking smart shots, plays a smart game. You know, he's responsible on both ends. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he looks like a 15.5 percent shot
Really?
percentage,
Okay.
which is
Yeah.
a little high.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Uh,
uh,
his career shots were it was only 233, and just last year 78 games played, 129. So he's obviously ripping it. But hey, we like it when he rips it. He's potting home 20 goals last year. Who knows? Could put up 30 this year, possibly.
6'3", 198's got good size,
Right? Yeah.
uh, and he's got good skill. So yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
think you're adding, you're going to add, you know, let's see here, 1634, maybe add two more minutes of
Right.
ice average time next
Mm-hmm.
season. And, who knows? I think he can really, really excel. I remember when uh, all the trade deadline madness was going on,
Mm-hmm.
someone was comparing contracts and we're like, hey, let's see, is there another Brandon Hagel type deal out there where a team is going to give up 2 first-round picks, 2 NHL players for this player?
Mm-hmm.
And it was Taylor Radish and Sam Lafferty had the opportunity to get that type of haul.
Hmm.
Obviously, Sam Lafferty did not get that haul,
Mm-hmm.
uh, but I mean, he's 28 years old.
Right. A little
Of
older
that,
now.
been in the league a little bit, kind of shows you what he is.
Yeah.
Uh, but I like that Taylor Radish was involved in that.
Mm-hmm.
That he might be a kind of a sleeper pick for a team to go out and say, you know what, this is our guy. We need to get him. What does it cost?
Mm-hmm.
We got the checkbook open. Just let us know.
Yeah. Uh, Definitely. He's a fun player, right? Just seeing him play smart, that's great. But one big name that we really haven't dove into, right? Big boy Taylor Hall coming in. 61 games played last year, 16 goals, 20 assists, playing a bottom six role there in Boston, right?
They're
36
so
points,
stacked. Yeah.
right? He's still potted home almost 20 goals in a bottom six role. 36 points, 61 games, 150 shots, 5 game-winning goals, man. So he's a clutch player. The coaches trust him, put him out there in OT, and he's gonna get the game done. Or whether it's the final minutes of third period, right? He's a clutch player, and just seeing him with Connor and Reichel, Radish, Double A, who knows? We're going to be in those clutch games. We're going to be scrappy, competitive. It's going to be fun, man. Taylor Hall, I'm probably looking at 50, 55 points. I'm not.
Easy. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, you're gonna be adding like 5+ minutes
Oh
average.
yeah.
He only averaged like a little under 16 minutes of
Right.
ice last season. He's
Hmm.
gonna be getting the 21, 22
Yeah.
minimum
Definitely. Hmm.
to play with Connor Bedard and whoever that rotating right wing might be,
Right.
whether it be, Tyler Johnson,
Hmm.
Corey Perry. Maybe they're going to bring up a kid
Hmm.
like a Ryan Donato, a Taylor Radish,
Yeah.
uh, whatever it is. Maybe Luke Richardson's load up line. It's going to be Taylor Hall, Connor Bedard, and pick the most offensive guy we got.
Yeah. You know what? That's an interesting note that you brought up, right? Maybe you can rotate that right wing. Say we're playing scrappy teams, Islanders, Hurricanes are scrappy, Avs. Maybe you do throw in uh, Taylor Radish or a Tyler Johnson for more veteran help with Connor down the middle.
Yeah.
And say we're playing Devils, Rangers, we throw in Reichel or Double A for more speed on line one, then we're going to see some point jumps with anyone that's rotating really on that right wing on line one. It's going to be a lot of fun for these wingers, definitely.
Yeah, and speaking of line one
Hmm.
and maybe getting more points because of Connor Bedard,
Hmm.
we're going to look at our franchise defenseman Seth Jones.
Right.
Uh, Last season, disappointing season, but
Hmm.
it was kind of across the board.
Yeah.
37 points, 12 goals, 25 assists. You want more from him. Plain and
Yeah.
simple. Uh,
Hmm.
And, even in 21-22, when I know the Hawks were still kind of like, do we
Mhm.
go for it? Do we not? Do we whatever? He
Mhm.
had 51 points,
Yeah.
and he he is going to be able to get that puck up to those quick guys, your Andreas Anthonysius, your Connor Bedards, your
Mhm.
Radishes, Donatos, Hall. That top six isn't the worst top six in the league.
Mhm.
And getting getting that puck up there out of the defensive zone into the hands of some of those offensive juggernauts, you're going to see that point total go up, hopefully.
Yeah. And when he scores goals, it's either like a deflection from the point, or he's making a really nifty move, man. Getting to the net, putting it top shelf, deking. He's a nifty player, and hey, playing with more skill, throwing Vlasic in there, Korch to start the year, whether Phillips fills the first pair with Seth. I think he's just gonna be more free in the offensive zone, right? Because he's gonna have someone more defensive on his left side. So I think we do see a jump in both, really, in goals and assists.
Yeah, I'm
To,
going to say he's going to
right?
get to 50 as well. Seems like for whatever reason tonight the number is 50.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get to 50. I don't think he's going to top his career high 57 and 17, 18.
Uh huh.
Um, he'll probably, maybe like a 54, I'll call it.
Yeah. I can see that. Just a more youthful, like decor, right? Just having younger guys there, and they're like they're going to have the veterans. Connor Murphy, whether it's Zaitsev fills in,
Tenorti,
Tenorti, love Tenorti. We've gone over it before. Jared,
just a
my
whole beauty,
God,
just
my gosh.
a warrior.
I mean, a freight train. I forgot who he hit, like right next to our bench. He came out of nowhere, just completely clotheslined him, but it was awesome. Yeah, so we should definitely see a jump in Seth Jones pairing one, right? Seth
Yeah, and then
Jones,
the thing is with those young guys, sure, they're gonna have a little less experience,
right,
but the thing is they wanna be there and they
right,
wanna make a good impression. They care. They wanna go out and they wanna play hockey. They wanna play it the right way.
hmm,
And with Luke Richardson, former defenseman himself, and his kind of defensive, li you know, high forecheck, high energy, up tempo type of play,
hmm,
you're gonna need that youthfulness. You're gonna need that speed, and these kids they're gonna give it to you. That's it, just plain and simple.
hmm.
And I think they're gonna surprise a lot of people, and I think they're gonna surprise a lot of fans as well.
Yeah. Um, Isaac Phillips, not really projecting points for him right now, right?
No,
Last year he only played 16 games. Yeah, 16 games, 5 points, 1 goal, 4 assists. But uh, the 1 goal he did have is super impressive. I believe it was just the coast to coast, and he put it top shelf, like backhand. So he obviously has some skill that he's worked on in the ozone, and he loves taking the slapper from the point. Even in Rockford, he's taken a lot of shots from the point. And hey, if he gets hot sometimes with Seth Jones, Connor Murphy, we could see a little sneaky season from Phillips, or whether it's Alex Vlasic, right? Bumping up there to the big team.
no doubt. Yeah, I don't think like Vlasic. I don't think you're gonna see much offensive from him. I think he's going to take after his cousin Mark Edward
Right.
and be that because he's big. He's like 6'5", I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that long reach with that long stick, and he's going to
Mm-hmm.
poke it, and he's going to use it, and he's going to stick check, and he's going to deny entries and whatnot. You know, Does that mean that he's not going to be able to pass the puck? Absolutely not. Does that mean that he's not going to be able to shoot the puck? No. He's obviously he's like, tall, and he's going to use that flex, and he's just going to bomb it in from the point. Maybe sneak a couple greasy ones past the goaltender.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't really see him past maybe, I don't know, 15 points.
Right. Yeah. Just whatever we can get from him offensively, like for both of them, really. Isaac Phillips, Vlasic. If we could get some pop out of him, right?
Yeah.
Next year, that would be great. And I think we just want to see both of them just project into a responsible D man in our own zone, and they're able to keep the puck moving in the O zone. Just playing quality hockey from young guys, right? Next year.
Yeah, and then you got Wyatt Kaiser also.
Hmm.
He's got a little bit of offensive upside in him. He's young though, 21 years old.
Right.
Waivers exempt as well. I think they're going to put him in Rockford.
Hmm.
Get him on PP1, get him on the first pair, get him into that offensive minded play, and then you can bring him up
Hmm.
and at a later time. Obviously Korchinski is going to be the offensive defenseman for the Blackhawks. I'm hypothesizing probably 25, 35 games maybe for
Really?
Korchinski. There's just not a lot for him to do back in the Western Hockey League, and
Okay.
because
Yeah.
he's 19 years old, he's not eligible to go into the AHL. Um,
Right.
and in that 25 game stint, probably, um, because if the Hawks are burning years of contracts of ELCs for these guys, it doesn't matter. They've got like low single digit players signed to
Hmm.
contracts in like 2
Yeah.
seasons. The Hawks will have plenty of money. It doesn't really matter. And in that 25 game stint, you know,
Hmm.
th- he's going to be experiencing professional hockey for the first time. I would like to see like a half a point per game from him.
Really?
Um, I think you're probably gonna see more of like a third of a point per game. So he'll
Yeah.
probably get like 7, 10, you know,
Hmm.
maybe a 10 to 15 range in for points, and then he's gonna go back to the Western Hockey League and tell all his buddies how he played in the show and it was the coolest thing in the world.
Right. He is extremely skilled, right? For a D man, I probably watched 95% of the Seattle Thunderbirds games, right? Just scouting Corch, Colton Dock, Nolan Allen. I have a website, right, for some Thunderbirds games
Nice.
because you want to see how these kids are playing. And Corch is the guy, man. He is D1. He's 1D in Seattle, and he will continue to be that, right? If he was to stay there the whole season, right? Or if he has a stint. But I think we do see a little shakeup, possibly. So whether it's Coach on the second line with like a Connor Murphy, a little more defensively responsible, right? And then someone else bumps up to pairing one with Seth Jones, Vlasic, Phillips, whoever, because I think it would be a little problematic. Corch and Jones
Yeah, I
on
think
the
so
same,
too.
right? Like just for like next year starting out, right? He's fresh to the league. It would be a little problematic, but who
Yeah, I
knows?
mean, he's gonna be getting matched up against those first line guys. He's gonna be getting up against
Right?
McDavid and
Yeah,
Draisaitl and McKinnon. Like, can he handle
yeah,
that? Maybe, but
yeah,
I
maybe.
wouldn't throw him into the fire like that. That doesn't
No,
make a lot of sense to me. Um,
no.
I mean, maybe you do just so that he gets all his minutes, but
Yeah.
I think it would be a little bit irresponsible just to kind of toss him into the fire like that. That wouldn't be.
Hmm.
I don't think it'd be beneficial to him. So you get him on a steady, stay at home Connor Murphy type. Also, Connor Murphy will go and if someone looks at Kevin Korchinski the wrong way, he'll go punch him in the face. So
Yeah.
I always respect that about Connor Murphy. He's always got the boys' backs, and
Right.
you know, you're probably not going to see a lot of point gain from him as well, even though
Right.
he's kind of advertised as a two-way guy. I think he's more of a
Hmm.
stay-at-home defensive guy, and he'll hit, he'll fight, he'll shoot.
Yeah.
He can move the puck decently. Um, it's got to stay healthy. I think he did a
Yeah.
pretty good job of that last season, and yeah, so. Uh, I think the Hawks, you're going to see a lot of guys get inflated point totals because of one Mr. 98 Connor Bedard, and
Hmm.
I think there's a lot of excitement surrounding this team, and I think a lot of people are excited to play and watch them play, and
Right.
I think it's going to be a great time, and I'm really excited for it. You know, we're in August right now.
Hmm.
Just one more month, we'll get into the preseasons, and then
Yeah.
October, fall, the best month, best season, and games are going to be underway, and it's just going to be a great time.
Hmm. Yeah. It's gonna come up quick.
Yeah, no doubt,
Uh,
no doubt. I'm not
yeah.
trying to rush summer here along. There are a lot of people. Some people are in school or whatever, and they got
Hmm.
those seasonal type jobs. I'm not trying to rush you back. Don't worry about that.
No.
But summer winding down, coming to an end, but we're gonna go out with a bang and we're gonna enjoy it. Uh,
Hmm.
so that's going to be this edition of the Chicago Blackhawks Hockey Central podcast. I hope you guys have a great week and let's go Hawks.